aspect of the business, but also we wanted to give our patrons a bit of what Kingston is like. Kingston nightlife, Kingston entertainment, how we do things. Kingston Jerk was started in June 18, 2020 when we bought the location from the previous owners who operated as Pepperwood, who previously operated as Scotches. What that means is that we inherited and we purchased good boats. Cabanas were in good state, the equipment around the back was in good order, and we had a working formula in terms of a day-to-day transaction in the business. However, because we bought the business in June 18, 2020, which was in the middle of the pandemic when everybody in general was trying to figure out what to do. How do we work? How do we have fun? How do we go about our day-to-day lives? It made the business that much more challenging. So, I mean, luckily we still maintain some of what we inherited. Luckily we had the Kingston Jerk is actually equipped with staff quarters. So last year, June 18, 2020, when we reopened the business, we were able to, for the most part, keep the staff sterile because they refused to go home as well because it was safer here. You know, there was no traveling on public transportation, so the exposure to them was limited, and they agreed that they would stay on compound throughout the entire time. So what that means is the chefs, cashiers, the team that wakes up in the morning and closes up at evenings were pretty much limited in their exposure to the corona. So that helped them and that helped our customers. And we maintain that model because, you know, especially when you're dealing with now curfew times, a number of our staff don't have to necessarily worry about getting home at night. They just simply go to the staff quarters, which are pretty decent, by the way. I had a room around there, but with the expansion of staff, I had to give that up as well. So we started when we got here on June 18, 2020 with about 12 staff members. Because, you know, everybody had reduced the hours, reduced the time, and the place was kind of closed down. Now, as it is July 9, we're currently at about 44 staff members. So we need all of that just to ensure that the gears keep going. We had to do a lot of restructuring of the staff, restructuring of the compensation. So, for example, team members that were getting paid daily, we had to move to an hourly system so that, you know, when you're operating on 4-hour days or 6-hour days, the business could compensate them properly without cheating them, but at the same time maintain its viability, as you're asking.
Was Kingston Jerk around before 2020?
No. We literally just bought this business because the opportunity presented itself, my partners and I, and we renamed and rebranded to Kingston Jerk.
Why Kingston Jerk as the name?
We wanted to maintain the whole jerk aspect of the business, but also we wanted to give our patrons a bit of what Kingston is like. Kingston nightlife, Kingston entertainment, how we do things. So if anybody who used to go to the previous location under the previous management, they can tell you, it was pretty much a decent and one of the best jerk centers around. However, what would happen is in terms of a walkthrough for a customer, there was no experience other than the food. Now the experience includes staff that will wait on you, wait your tables, ensure that your needs are taken care of, an entire bar team, which is why, again, we have increased the numbers. So on any given day you come, the bar service area has about a team of 10 people ready to serve you. So you no longer have to walk up to the cashier window, cash your food, and then walk with a tray. No, you can sit, place your order, somebody's there to take that order and deliver that order for you and ensure you have an experience.
What made you decide that this was a venture, this business was something you wanted to venture into, providing that persons were opting out of businesses because of the pandemic?
But that's a pretty simple answer. My partners and I are serial entrepreneurs, and once an opportunity presents itself, we're going to strike.
So you were not worried about the restaurant experience and how COVID would affect your bottom line?
We were worried, but amongst ourselves, we decided it was a risk worth taking. Okay. COVID was not going to stay here forever. COVID will not be here forever. And, I mean, we've already started to see the benefits of, one, the change in curfew hours to allow for at least an additional hour or two for operation. And two, when we did our own assessment, there was this new buzzword suddenly on out called social distancing. When we did our assessment, we were properly equipped for that. We have about 11 cabanas that is already distant from, amongst themselves. And then we added an additional deck, which is about another 1,200 square foot of dining space. So in total, we did our assessment and realized that Kingston Jerk will now have a 15,000 foot dining room area. I don't think any other restaurant in Kingston can boast 15,000 square feet of dining space. That has already been provisioned for social distancing. So let's say you and your friends want, or you and your family of four want to come down and have a meal on a Sunday, you can get a cabana for yourself for 4 people. That is distance from the next cabana. So we are properly equipped for it, that in that manner. Well, the reaction has been positive, and I'll tell you why. If you're supposed to segment, just looking at the experience, when you look at the bar, for example, we have a lot more bar patronage. Reason for that is, before you would go to a jerk center, the only thing you get is jerk chicken, jerk pork. If you sit at a bar after work for 2-3 hours, you're only eating jerk chicken, jerk pork. You come to Kingston Jerk and you sit here after work, you can get a burger. You can have another drink, you can have a hot dog. You can have another drink, you can have a pasta. Add another drink, you can get a fish sandwich. So I've mentioned about 4 or 5 things without even touching jerk. You can get fish, you can get seafood, all of that without touching jerk. So no matter
it's
what,
more than a jerk center.
yes. So no matter what your inclination is, you can cater to that. So what it does is it makes it a new hangout spot. So before it was a takeout spot, you come, you grab your food, you leave. Now people are actually coming to Kingston Jerk to just sit, enjoy the other patrons, enjoy the service from the staff. You know, it's really working for us.
Was it working for you prior to the extension on the curfew?
It was very difficult, just like everybody had our challenges, and it was something that I had to stay on every day. So every day, I mean, the odds would change overnight. You could hear that, you know, you have a 6 o'clock curfew starting tomorrow. So what that means is that I had to go through every department and readjust everybody's shift, probably move around chefs there.